Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Mokry, a Dallas-based DP, photographer, gaffer with a 1-ton grip van full of aperture lighting, and I am available for hire. Today is gear prep day. I have a 3-day shoot coming up with multiple locations over some of the days, and I've got to prep the van to be ready for it. One of the days, we actually have to go up a flight of stairs just to get to the shoot location, so that's something I have to factor in when doing my loadout. Now, normally I'd have 2 carts to do my shoots, roll 2 carts out. A lot of my gear can go onto those. If I need a third one, I can bring it. But this one, with having stairs in the mix, having 2 carts really doesn't help because I'm able to park pretty close to where the stairs are to get into the location. But having carts doesn't really benefit me because I'd have to unload the carts to access the van to get to all the lights and other things, and it'd be a waste. So I'm actually going to try 1 cart out and then have a dolly for the other days. So have a magliner dolly where I could put my crates onto it, giving me 2 carts essentially. But for the day where I need access to everything easily, I'm going to have the ability to just access the gear that I need without having to roll out 2 carts. Leaving 1 cart on, I'm going to go with my cart that has the actual C-stands on it, and that's kind of my grip cart. And then instead of having the multi-tier cart with all my lights on it, I'm going to use the magliner for that. So let's get into some of the stuff. I'm going to chat with you guys, show you what I think of and why I make certain decisions on loading up the van and what I'm going to do. I spoke with the client, we've communicated through emails, and they've kind of let me know that some of the days have to be a little faster than other days, and we need to move quickly. So we may just have to use domes like the Aputure 150 or the Aputure Light Dome 2 to just make things a little more efficient and quicker, because we don't have time to go with bigger setups constantly. We may be in tighter spaces, so we can't do a big book light, like a rolling book light like I've done before. But we'll see what it comes up. You don't know until you get on site sometimes. I am not able to scout these locations. These were all scouted by the actual production company that's hiring me. So I have to make some decisions on my own from just some photos that they sent over and some ideas and just kind of what they're thinking. And I have to be able to be a Swiss Army knife. I have to have the ability to change things on the fly and also make decisions ahead of time. So when I do get into a position where I need this or I need that, I have it on the van. And am I line iteming every single little thing that I'm bringing and say, I'm going to charge you for this little thing? That's not how this job was built out. So we do have some flexibility for me to bring a little bit of extra things to make my life easier. If I can make my life a lot easier by bringing one little item and not charging for it, I'm going to do that rather than try to charge for it. They refuse, and then I'm just going to suffer in the end. So let's get into it. This is my current setup right now. I have my rags here, my 6x, my 8x. I have my frames up top, have Apple boxes here. A lot of people have seen the build videos and have seen the completed video on how I have it set up. I have other items here, in crates. My real heavy items down below are like my stingers, and I have those down at the bottom level, but everything could be moved around just because of how I design things. So these crates can go here, 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 wherever they need to, giving me some flexibility. The main reason I like this system and the way that it's set up is I have access to everything quickly. If I need to access something here, I just come here, I have access to it. Now I have tape, I have clamps. Okay, I don't need that. I need to move down below. Okay, I have access down below. Here's some barn doors. Whatever I need, I have quick access to. And some of the areas I have left open for miscellaneous stuff. So down below here is empty at the moment. This, I have smaller stands that I could use. I have light domes here. I have big 7-foot umbrellas, another 150 dome here, and then a tripod. So that was something I used on a recent shoot. So I have it all in here ready to go. The main thing that I'm trying to get across when talking about stuff like this is you don't want to show up to a shoot and be a clown car. You have everything so stacked up and so compact. And I did that, guys. I freaking hated it because you get so overloaded and then you just have to explode on the curb in front of a corporate client and, build out a cart or do this or do that. And it just becomes messy. With this system, I could roll 1 cart out. I could roll the second cart out. I have access to everything, and I could, pick and choose and add more stuff to the carts, or I could have 1 cart here and this back area is empty, and I have a lot of access to all the stuff that I need off these shelves and over there without issue. So it gives me some flexibility to, you know, be able to work out of the van. You know, pulling one cart off, having it off to the side is a lot cleaner look, and then everything's open in here. So then I could come in here and grab a stand, or I could go grab a rag, or I need to grab a frame. I have access into the van to move quickly, and we're not all at that point. You know, it takes time to reach a van like this and have this kind of investment. My old van, I was like this inside of it, and, you know, creating really bad back problems. But this is what my thought process is before a shoot. I think about what I could use, how I could be efficient, and how I could speed things up on set. And I may have the ability to spend a whole day playing around with this and get ideas, and I use that for the future, or I just have to, you know, hey, make it work. Let's go move on to the next one because I have gig after gig lined up. But with the way I do it, I'm not always a gaffer. I'm not always a DP. I'm not always a one-man band. I'm not always a photographer. Things change constantly. I could have a whole week that's just me doing photography, and I don't touch photography for another month. You know, it just really depends. It's crazy how it works. So I'm going to move some things around. So I got everything kind of loaded up on the shelving. You can see now up here, we have crates. Crates are filled in here. This didn't really change, and then we did some things here. So let me start off with 1200D. We have two spotlight mounts. We have a 36 degree and a 26 degree spotlight, and those two spotlights are used with a 300D. We have a 60D. We have our light bulbs, so B7Cs, and then we have a 12MC kit with charging and everything. That's all going to be in this little section here. I'm bringing the 1200D because we may need a lot of output in a couple of the scenarios where we have windows, and if I book light it, it'll be great to have. These other items here, this is kind of what always shows up with me on shoots, including my tube lights, because they're just so versatile for many things. Then we come up here and we have the two sets of ballast, and then we have a 600D and a 600D. So 600D ballast, 600D ballast. That's right there. Coming over here, we have a 600X, 600X ballast. So light, ballast, ready to go. And then we have the 300D put in right here. And we have a few of our booms. We have our big boom and two small booms. And then everything else is pretty much the same. So we're going to push the cart in, which is right here. So I wanted to show what I landed on for a case for my tube lights. I didn't want them to be in their soft cases because I was worried they were going to get damaged. So I got a crappy Apache case from Harbor Freight. Yeah, it's not the best thing, but it's better than a soft case, so don't rag me for it. The important thing is it has to be longer than 4 feet for the tubes to fit. So this is what I have in here. So I have all the power cables for charging or for running the lights. So they're right here ready to go, easily accessible. And then here I kept the soft case from, I think it was the grids, and I put all 4 grids in here. So all 4 grids for all 4 lights. Then we actually have the lights right here. These are the actual lights with the pull noodles, the poodles. So we got 4 foot, 4 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot. So they're already protected. You don't need to protect them anymore, or I don't care to, because they've got pretty much wraparound protection here, and they'll hold up really good. When I shut the case, you can see there's a little indentation here, and that means there's a little bit of pressure on it, so they shouldn't move around. And then in the middle, I did keep one of the bags that the tubes come in, and I put the rest of the charging bricks in here, and then we have the batteries. So easy to access, it doesn't get too messy, stuff can go back and be nice and tight and not look cluttered, and then it shuts. Good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning. I got up at 4:30. Had to shower up, get dressed, prep a few little things, load up the van with the remaining items. These tubes were charging up. The client requested an F22C or similar so we could get a TV effect. We have our mag liner loaded up right here. We got some modifiers up top over there. It's the 150 dome, light dome 2, the lantern, and we are packed up and ready to go. So we're gonna shut the doors and head out for a 2-hour drive to Tyler, Texas.